From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Only in America can a guy from anywhere go to sleep a pauper and wake up a millionaire.
Now, live from downtown Clearwater in the Tan Talk studios, it's the Bill Cochran Show. Call in 727-441-3000 or 1-866-826-1340. And now, here's your host, Bill Cochran.
Good evening, Americans. It's Friday, and we are in downtown Clearwater, Florida. Get ready for a little trip around the world. But first, we're going to start in a Danish zoo in Copenhagen. Put on that little Lion King music. Denmark Zoo on Wednesday defended its decision to kill 2 aging lions and 2 cubs, citing the risk of inbreeding. They needed to bring in some younger lions, and they couldn't risk the male lion mating with the old female, as she was too old to be mated with again, due to the fact. Now, they really talk about this over there. I mean, we don't talk about this in America. I can't repeat some of this stuff because the animal activists would probably shut this place down, maybe. But
we don't want that.
No, we don't want that at all. But there were 15 flamingos killed at night in a zoo in Germany, and they thought it was a human, but they found out it was a fox. And there was a wild bear that was rescued after a Facebook post. And one of the stories that really caught my attention here was 3 female elephants escaped from the handlers Saturday at the children's ride section of the zoo in St. Louis. No one was injured, but witnesses said the elephant stormed the family arena parking lot before being recaptured. These huge elephants literally went wild through these. They were knocking over RVs and breaking trucks. And the zookeeper was yelling, "Stop! Stop!" to the elephants. But they didn't stop until they caught them. And, it's an amazing, everything I'm talking about, I get right out of the newspaper. And, there's a lot of funny stories in the newspaper. But the serious side of all this is that we are having a problem here in America. And while the gas prices go up and up and up, our president is over in the Vatican with the Pope. He's talking to the Pope, giving him gifts. He gave him some seeds in a box, and the Pope gave the president something today. I can't remember what it was, but it was in the paper. And, it seems like our president is in every country in the world while we're back here needing someone to lead this country. Who will lead our country? Who is going to lead our country? Who? Is the president or the Pope? I mean, the Pope and the president are together now. Does he want a world government? Does he want to have worldwide health care? Maybe called not Obamacare, but maybe we could call it a little bit of everything, the worldwide health care. But, it's a small world today. It's a very small world because of the internet. We're so connected. We're so connected to one another with social media that could be shut down in a second. Do you realize that media could be shut down so quick? I don't know how the children of this age would be able to move around if their phones were shut off. I mean, I go to the beach and I walk a lot. I love the beach. And, you walk up and down the beach and you see the teenagers or the I guess they called what are they called today? What do they call the teenager generation there, Cedric? Do you know? Cedric's on the phone. Oh, he's talking to somebody. I guess he's...
Sorry about that.
What's the name of this generation today?
You mean the millennials? Is that what they're calling them?
The millennials?
Millennials,
yeah. We're called the baby boomers, and the baby boomers are trying to catch up with the millennials. But, the millennials need to have some kind of a calm here with the country today, because how do they afford to pay $3.50 a gallon? Cedric, how do you afford to pay?
How do I do it?
How do you do it?
You want to know the real honest truth here?
Yeah.
Pennies.
Pennies.
Yeah,
okay.
I roll pennies. I take all the pennies from the center console, and I get one of those change rolls, and I roll the pennies, and then I take it into the gas station.
Well, how many pennies do you get for a gallon of gas? You got to have a lot of pennies.
375 pennies.
Well, where do you get all the pennies from?
Yeah, you find them on the street.
Oh, You don't stand out there in the street. You're not one of
cushions.
these guys that stand in the street and get the penny. No, they get more than pennies normally.
They get more than pennies.
I'm just kidding you.
But no, I mean that's seriously. At the end of the week, you need a little gas. Make it the rest of the way. That's what you do. You roll the pennies.
I agree, and it's a hard. One day we're going to run out. I think we're already out of pennies. We're working on. When you think about the time back here, I like to go back because this country's only going to move forward if we do go backwards. We're the country that was, that has been, and that is not today. And, today there's no hope for the country, it sounds like. I mean, people are hurting. People are hurting, but they're not starving yet. They're not really that bad like they are down in Venezuela, where you can't even get food right now, it seems like. They're rationing the food in Venezuela. And people, it's coming this way. Remember, it is coming this way if we don't change. We have the greatest country in the world. America is the greatest country in the world. It has been for so many years, but we are in trouble right now. We need to start to help one another. And I don't know how we can do it, but we need to have a government that is for the people. For the people, the United States of America, for the people of America. When James Madison penned the story about factions, James Madison said factions are good for America. He didn't want to limit any factions. Our government is trying to limit the factions that are against the voice of the government. The U.S. government, the federal government, is not the part of this America that we stand for as Americans. There's 300 plus million Americans. 300 plus million Americans is not a lot of Americans. It's not a lot of people in the scheme of things. When the world is filled with over 7 billion people, America is not that many people when you think about it. I've grown here. I've grown up here. I've born and raised here. I don't know where our president grew up. They say he grew up in Hawaii, but that, as far as I'm concerned, New York is more, well, it used to be a cradle of America, because in New York they had the greatest city in the world. That when they built that city, they got the bricks up on the Hudson, and they built those buildings brick by brick by brick. 1929, they built the Empire State Building brick by brick. It took them a year. 1 year. 1 year. They've been working on US 19 for 20 years, and they're still not done. I went up and down 19 today with my hauling business. I have a hauling business. I haul trash for a living normally. And the trash, we've got a lot of trash in this country. And, I go over and I pay the county for recycling. I've got to pay them a certain fee, and they take and throw it in the incinerator, and they sell that power back to you, and I pay them. But it's a great facility Pinellas County has, and it's a great deal. And that's one of the good things in Pinellas County. But the waste that goes on in local government, the waste that goes on in state government, the waste that goes on in federal government. And I'm kind of wound up. Maybe you ought to play a song there, calm me down a little. I went to a hockey game last night. But yeah, we are the champions. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the Lightning. I went to that game last night. Oh, what a game. You talk about a game, edge of the seat. I mean, our champions who won the Stanley Cup in 2004. We lost a lot of our players. A lot of our players have been traded. St. Louis, Le Cavalier, Brad Richards. My daughter's favorite was Brad Richards. She always wanted to marry Brad Richards, but then he got married, and she used to say she wanted to marry Brad Richards. And I said, well, I hope you do, because maybe we'll get free Lightning tickets. But old Brad went and married somebody else, I think a Canadian girl, because many of those hockey players are from Canada. And the champions is our team, this Lightning team. And, we're lucky to have them. Support that team. I went over, the tickets were only like $9. I mean, you can go to a game over there for $9-10, and you can have a lot of enjoyment. It took 13 shootouts last night for us to win, to beat the New York Islanders. And being a New York fan, I really was kind of leaning a little towards the Islanders to a point, but Tampa Bay came through, and they won, and they're heading for the playoffs. The champions. This week, we have the Grand Prix coming to St. Petersburg. We have a art show going on up in Tarpon Springs, the art show, 20,000 people. This week, we have the beach will be packed over in Clearwater. I'll guarantee the malls will be packed. America is great. America is a great country. We are the champions of the world. America. Our hockey teams, our baseball teams, our people, our bankers, our lawyers, anybody you talk to that lives in America is lucky to live here. And I hope one day, our youngsters will realize this, that this social media that has dragged them into a worldwide system that is turning kids away from this great country, brainwashing our children to believe that the world government is the part that's going to run this world someday. But the United States of America is more than a world government. The United States of America is a government made up of people. You, free people. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is part of that this world that we live in. And, you know, I'm really concerned about that oil spill out in Texas because, you know, they were going into Houston, and I think the oil probably came from Saudi Arabia. And I'm thinking about the environmentalists who don't want the pipeline to come down from Canada, a pipeline that's sealed, a pipeline that's above. We've had a pipeline in Alaska for 40 years. Very, very little impact on the environment. Very little problems. As far as the pipeline that's going to come down from Canada, the same thing. It'll have very little problems. But what's going to happen when some tanker blows up out in the middle of the Gulf, or some tanker comes apart on the way across the ocean, or maybe, you know, say over on Clearwater Beach, you know, what's going to happen to that beach? I'm a firm believer that we should drill in this country. We should drill more oil. We should use the North Dakota, that system for fracking. We should frack. We should, people. And the environmental people, who cares? Who cares? How many are there? How many? How many in America are environmentalists? How many in America are tied in with Richard Nixon's EPA? Thousands of bureaucrats work for the government that fine people for doing things. But why? Why is gasoline $3.50 a gallon? You know what it was in 1973? 25 cents a gallon. Is the country any cleaner? I think there are some laws that we need for the environment. I believe in that. I believe in a clean environment. But what's happening in China? What's happening in Russia? You know, what's happening in all these other countries? Do they do what we do? Do they practice the same standards that we have to practice to have a global climate? You know, why? Why are Americans got to be punished? And why do the Americans have to pay to keep this world running the way the environmentalists want us to? You know, it sounds, I may sound angry or bitter, but I'm concerned for my children. I'm concerned for my grandchildren. And yeah, I am a little angry. I am a little bitter. I am a little upset that I've been in business all my life. I started a Shell station when I was 22 years old. I was proud of my business. But when I started, there was not the red tape that there is today to start a business. Any young person that wants to start a business today has to go through so many regulations and rules from people that have never been in a business in their life. People that don't know how to run a business. People that would not know how to run a business any more than the man in the moon. They go to college and all they learn how to do is take, and take more from the youth of this generation. The president wants to redistribute. He wants to give kids $10. Well, I don't even know if kids. He wants to probably give 50-year-olds $10 an hour minimum wage. Wow. Thanks. Thanks. What's $10 an hour? But along with that, you might get a phone. You might get a phone, and maybe you'll get the health care that he wants you to have. And why does it got to be called Obamacare anyway? I mean, why don't we call the health care the most biggest mistake that Congress and Senate ever passed in the country? I mean, Obama wants to have his name on it. He'll pay for it in November. I believe you'll see a lot of change in November. I hope. I mean, if we don't, change, we're just going to keep going up and up and up in all our costs. And, milk is $4.19 a gallon. It'll probably be maybe $5.19 a gallon, and I kind of, you want to play a song there? I'm kind of got to get a drink of water. Cedric's on the phone. No calls?
Sorry about that.
No, you calling anybody? Anybody call in?
Well, no luck with Canada yet.
Okay, we'll call some other. Maybe see if anybody want to call. What's the number there?
It's 727-441-3000, and that's local here, Pinellas County, and at 1-866-826-1340. That's nationwide, toll free. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Why don't you call my daughter? Maybe she can call my daughter up in New York, because I told her I was going to call her, and
Tara.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Okay. I guess I gotta. No, they didn't shut us down. We're still talking. We're just kind of regrouping here. I've got a lot of things I looked up and I read through, and I'm just kind of trying to get settled in here with this show, because I've never done this before, really, for a career or anything. But I'd like to do it for a career. I'd like to someday have a show that goes all over the country, and maybe they say you can promote them on Facebook. You can do a lot of things today to. But really, I'd like to help this country believe in itself again, and because there's a lot of people that don't believe in ourselves, and as young people, you need to realize that your vote is as good as anybody else's. If you're 18 years old in this country, you can vote. You can get out there and vote for change if you do want change. I mean, but when you don't vote, you shouldn't complain, because the vote is the whole secret to this system that we call United States government. The vote, the freedom to vote, and the freedom to. Do you vote, Cedric?
Absolutely.
Oh, you do? Who'd you vote for?
Never.
I don't mind. That's private, huh? Okay.
Well, no. I'm registered Republican, but I don't necessarily vote Republican. I'm just I registered Republican so I could vote in the Republican primary, because I felt more interested in voting in the Republican primary than the Democrat primary. Yeah.
Did you hear about Taco Bell has breakfast now? I don't. Have you had it yet? The Taco Bell breakfast. Taco.
I haven't had it yet.
Oh, well, is that their new jingle, or what? Taco Bell, or is that an old jingle?
Yes, that's their old jingle.
Their old jingle.
It should be their jingle.
Yeah, that's a Taco Bell.
They said it was stereotypical.
The breakfast. I don't know, but it might be good. I don't know if it would be. It's probably got a lot of calories in it, I would say, right? It's got a. But they
a lot of salt.
A lot of salt.
A lot of salt.
A lot of salt, and we're still trying to figure out how many people were killed in that mudslide out there. They say there's 90 missing, and hopefully they might find some.
Here is the Taco Bell breakfast menu.
Oh, okay.
Here it is. They have Cinnabon Delights, which are these little cinnamon nuggets. They've got a waffle taco, which looks kind of gross. Breakfast burrito. They've got a crunch wrap, but it's instead of taco stuff, it's breakfast stuff, and then they've got a grilled taco. That's like a breakfast grilled taco.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like maybe we ought to go out there after the show, and let's do a little news about Russia right now, and because there's things going on over in Russia, and I don't know if people have heard that Putin's on the move again, and he's trying to figure out how to take all the food away from the eastern and western Europe, and. It's just a sad state in the world of Russia. The president said if he was reelected, that's wait till after the election, and that's when they could do a few things. So he's got a couple of years left, and Putin's over there. And hey, play that song a little louder. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back. USSR's coming back on strong. They're starting with a state. And they're going to get a nation, and they might work their way all across if nobody pushes back. NATO used to be stronger, but they're not anymore. America used to, he'd be scared to do this when Ronald Reagan was president, I think. I know he would be. I know. But he doesn't seem too afraid of our president. And so here's a country lost to communism, back to the USSR. That's a global thing that they want to have. They want to take over the world. They want to take away our rights, and Venezuela, it's happened in Cuba. And so what are you going to do about it? What can we do about it? I don't know.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about it. Anybody want to call and talk about it? Give us a call, 727-441-3000 or 866-826-1340. Maybe that plane's in the USSR. You know, people wonder. They still haven't found it, and they're still wondering. You know, they had a Norwegian icebreaker down there looking around, and they had some another boat with 20 Filipinos from Africa heading over to the Australia with some cars, and they were looking. You know, and we had a bunch of ships out there. We were looking. You know, we looked for a while. You know, we had some ships there. I don't know where they are now, and China was even involved in the search for this missing plane, but maybe that plane is back in the USSR. Who knows? You know, could be. A lot of people don't know. There's a lot of conspiracies about this. CNN's ratings really went up over that plane. I mean, they're just figuring it out. They're trying to figure where is that plane.
Did you see that guy Don Lemon? He said, "Is it possible that the plane got sucked up by a black hole?"
Well, I was wondering. You know, we used to have a hole down off the Miami coast, and a lot of planes disappeared down there. Called it the Devil's Triangle, and they just disappeared. And maybe they're aliens. You know, who knows? The aliens could have come down and took the plane. I don't know, but who knows? I doubt it because I don't really believe it. But do you believe in them?
Aliens?
Yeah, you got a show here in the middle of the night, UFOs. It's kind of. I hope no kids listen. It's kind of a scary show because they talk about all these sightings. You know, remember E.T.? I can remember that show.
I've never seen anything. I don't know what to think.
You don't.
there might be something out there, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry for all the people that were lost, but I think the media really shows their truth. There must not be anything else to talk about, you know, because they certainly don't want to talk about Obamacare because Obamacare is probably one of the biggest. What do you think about Obamacare?
What do I think about Obamacare?
Oh no, okay, maybe we.
I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but
okay, well,
needless to say, I'm not a fan.
Oh well, I don't think there are many fans really, and have you tried to call Darren out in Texas because He's one of my star Texas.
Let me try.
Everybody must be sleeping tonight. I know. Are your phones working? Did you pay the phone bill here at this place? I mean, I got to get some sponsors too because I'm running out of money. So are you. So is everybody. Hey, everybody's running out of money. You tell me anybody that's got a lot of money today. When you go in the stores, everybody's got credit cards, but I don't know whose credit cards they are. You know, I went to that game last night, and you know they're getting like $12 for a hot dog, you know, and you say to yourself, and they're lining up for the hot dogs over there at the Lightning, you know, and they got those nachos and they got but it's a nice event, you know. You get in for $8, but it costs you $100 by the time you leave, you know, and you spend all the money on the food, and it's a great event, and you know, and I like baseball season is ready to start. You know, we've got the New York Yankees. Finally, somebody surpassed their payroll scale. I think it was Boston Red Sox is paying on their salary $275 million, and I think the Yankees are $260 million. So when it gets to that much money, who's counting? You know, I guess it's like an ego. When one baseball team wants to pay more than the other one, what do you think Babe Ruth would say about that? You know, or Mickey Mantle or Roger Maris. You know, some of the greatest baseball players were during the '60s when I grew up, and I can remember they didn't make much money. You know, but today, these guys are making mucho kind of money, and they're all getting in trouble, it seems like. You know, is the money helping the sport? I don't know. But I tell you, they're making a lot of money. There's a house over on Bel Air Beach in Pinellas County, 40,000 square feet. He's a Phillies. I think he's 30 years old, and he's got the biggest house on the beach, bigger than Derek Jeter's over in Tampa.
Whoa.
So if you go down Bel Air Beach, you take a ride down there. He's got 3 lots. Their lots are 100 feet wide or 75 feet wide each. He tore 3 houses down. He put a house up the size of it looks like you could put 50 people in the house. But I think he's a 30-year-old pitcher for the Phillies. I don't know his name, but if anybody does, you could call. Maybe he can call and tell us how the electric bill's going in that house. You know, when they start cutting back on this energy, and they're going to tell him to put the air on with windmills or however he's going to keep that place cold. You know, I just don't know, and I'm just kind of sitting here in the Yeah, it's kind of hot in here. What happened to the AC? Is the AC on?
Is it hot there? I can turn it down.
It's kind of hot, and I kind of. Why don't you play another song? What kind of songs you got in there today?
Let's see. Let's play something that'll cool everyone down a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. How about this?
Wow. Do that at karaoke tonight. 7 to 11 up at the Moose Lodge. Up at one of my sponsors. I don't get any money, but I get to sing Moon River.
Let's work out a trade deal with them.
I can work on a trade deal. Moose Lodge, I've only been in a Moose Lodge once. My father was an elk. My brother, he's in the Elks, and there's a lot of organizations in this country, like the Masonic Lodge, and the Masons. The Masonic Lodge has done so much good for kids, burn hospitals, crippled children. Amazing what people do for one another in this country. It's just an amazing country. And if you grab onto that, take a breath, take a deep breath, and realize, don't meditate. Don't sit at the beach and wonder. Don't let life go by. Remember, life goes by in an instant. You're young right now and you're old tomorrow. That's how quick it goes. Anybody that you talk to that's 80 years old will tell you that. When I was 16, I thought life was going to last so long, it was going to be. But it goes by. Take charge. Let's take this country to another level. Let's let the people in this world realize that our forefathers who gave their lives, who fought on the battlefields, whether it was in Europe, whether it was in Guadalcanal, whether it was in Vietnam, whether it was in Korea, these people that fought to give this country its freedoms. In Afghanistan, right now we have people dying. We have people dying in other parts of the world just to preserve a nation, just to keep the freedom flowing in a country that is the greatest country on earth. Greatest country that ever lived. Well, didn't live. The greatest ever country I lived, but the greatest country that ever was formed. For you. Take control, take charge, take it back. That Moon River is right around the corner. Youth, I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to my children. I'm speaking to everybody else's children in this generation of Americans. You need to do it now before it's too late. Any more songs? I can keep going on this one because this is my passion. Any more songs? You can play anything you want because we're in America. We're in America. You know what? You can't do this in China. I don't think you can do it even in the Vatican. Our president's over in the Vatican. I don't know what he's trying to figure out. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know why Michelle had to go over to, I shouldn't call her Michelle, the first lady. Why she had to go to, you know who I'm talking about. She went to China and probably spent $100,000 on dinner. I don't know what she spent. Took her mother, took her children. World peace. Oh, now we're in the Vatican. Is that the?
I forgot to cue up the.
That was the Vatican.
Music. Hang on, I'll get some Oriental music.
Well, Oriental music. I don't really like Oriental music that much. Kind of. How about some Jimmy Buffett or some? What else you got? How about some beach music? Who's this?
Jimmy Buffett.
You can play Queen. Oh, that's a good one, Jimmy Buffett. Well, I like him. He came out of nowhere. And stars of America come out of nowhere. You can be a star. That song, When You Wish Upon a Star. Makes no matter who you are. When you wish on a star, your dreams come true. My dream is that America will come back. We've been asleep for a little while. We need to wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up, America. It's Friday. It's Friday, March 2014. We're live in downtown Clearwater, Florida. Let's listen to that music there.
And we have Freddie on the line.
Freddie.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Freddie, we're down here enjoying the beach down here. We were just thinking of you up there in Cape Cod and wondering about that nor'easter that hit. How is it doing up there? You get your...
It's great now. It's great now, Bill. We had a pretty bad day the other day, but it's today it was like 43, 44. So
Wow. How are the Kennedys? Did you put the sailboat away on the Kennedy compound? Did they get that protected?
Well, that's all covered up. That won't go in the water till next month.
Okay. And when are you coming down? We're waiting for you. We got the beach towels out, and we're waiting for you to get here. When are you heading down?
Hopefully should be down in May, Bill. You know, we've got things tied up here, and we had some medical problems. But hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be down there in May.
Well, Freddie, you're going to be my Cape Cod spokesman even when you get down here, because I know you got a lot of people you know up there, and your family is up there, and you know all around the north. And how's your lovely wife Ann doing?
That sounds good, Bill. Wait, she's right here on the phone. She'd love to talk to you. Hold on. What are you up to?
Ann, I don't want you to be nervous. You're live on the radio. There's probably about 50 people listening right now, throughout the world. I don't know how many.
50 million.
50 million. That's Cedric. He's my engineer, and we figured we needed somebody that, for Ann's one of the best cooks in up there. And tell me what your specialty is, Ann. Cooking.
I just made Panera soup.
Panera soup. What about the, I don't know. I like your...
Oh, you name it.
Yeah, I can name it, but I'm just calling. You're not nervous, are you, being on the radio? No, because I am.
No.
No.
I was trying to get it on my computer.
Okay, my daughter Tara was going to call. She said she tried to call you, Cedric, Tara. So we're trying to get callers.
It's 727-441-3000. I got open lines.
Open line, yeah, she can call. He's got an open line, and I can't wait to get you back down here, and I probably mow the lawn up at the house maybe, and tell Freddie Jr. to listen in too. And we're looking for callers, and it's enjoyable. It's just a little hot in this. I don't think they paid their electric bill here at the station.
What about Jennifer?
Jennifer, I don't know if she's called or not. We've got a lot of people some people are calling in, and we figured we'd call you because you're good friends, and and we salute Freddie as a veteran. I was just talking a little bit about the freedoms we possess because of veterans like him.
Well, I am too. I'm a veteran housewife.
Well, that's harder, I know, but you're a veteran, right? Both of you. I'm becoming a veteran, but I hope you can listen to my show later. If you got I don't know if you get it on the computer up there streaming, but they have it.
I found the thing. I just have to hit the right spot.
They have it streaming live right now, and I'm kind of, I didn't wear my tie tonight. I just wore an open shirt, and I went to the hockey game last night. We beat the Lightning, and the Lightning won. We beat the Rangers, and now he's finally turning the air down. My show is almost over, so he's turning the air down probably for the next.
Early though. I thought it was on later.
Starts at 6:00, and it's Freddie. Let me talk to Freddie again.
Go ahead, hold on.
And I just wanted to ask him a sports question.
Now, go ahead.
Okay. Freddie, who's going to...
right here, Bill.
Yeah, who's going to win the college thing, the basketball? I got your, who do you think?
Well, I think the Final Four, I think you're going to have to see Louisville, Arizona in there. I like Louisville. But don't be a bit surprised if those young kids from Kentucky takes it all, That could very well be, too.
Young kids from Kentucky, yeah, well, wait.
Even though Florida is favored to win it all, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Louisville or Kentucky played in there,
Yeah, did the snow melt?
Yes, it's practically all gone, and now with the rain they're talking about tonight and tomorrow, we probably should have bare grounds out there, Bill.
And what town are you? You're in Dennis? Are you Boston?
We're in Dennisport.
Dennisport,
right down the street from the beach.
And do you get to hobsnob with any of the Kennedys anymore or not? Are they still?
Well, it's not the same bunch now. It's a younger bunch. We're old timers now.
Yeah. Well, so am I. But we're all old timers anymore.
We're all old timers now.
I'm an old timer too, and we're kind of just bouncing, starting the show and seeing how.
Yeah, and I of the breed.
Yeah, and then Boston Bruins are doing good this year as well. What a team they've got.
How's that Tampa team?
Tampa last night I went to a game and they had 13 shootouts. 13, and we won. They won. We won in the shootout. The 13th player won the shootout.
Oh, that was quite a game.
What a game! Great game, and we got to sneak down behind the goalie towards the
great.
end.
Did you get to go with anybody besides?
Yeah,
Brad?
they went. Brad went. Denise and you got another caller there.
We have Tara on the line.
Okay, Freddie, I gotta go, but
Okay,
Tara.
great hearing from you. And
Okay.
It sounds like a great show you got going
Okay,
on down there.
thanks a lot, Freddie. Say goodbye, Annie. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Bye. Hello, Tara. Hello. God makes little girls. You must. She probably. Maybe she hung up. I don't know. Maybe she mentioned.
Says the line's still connected here.
Line's still connected.
Let's see who this is.
Okay. There's another one calling in. Let's see. Got it.
It's your sister.
Oh, my sister. Which one? What sister? Not the sister I owe money to, is it? Which one? She found
The
me.
last one.
She found me. What
Last
sister?
sister.
What sister? I got
Baby.
sister Denise.
Yes.
Hi,
How
Denise.
are you?
Did you get the money I borrowed from you or not? Did I pay you back?
No.
Oh, okay. No, you're not supposed to say that. Wasn't that a good game last night? Where Denise
It
went to
was
the.
great.
And it was your first time, wasn't it?
It was my first game, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm so happy they won.
Oh yeah.
No lightning.
We were sitting right on the side of our seats over there. It was quite a game, and Denise is my youngest sister, and she's out there in the labor field. I better not say, but she's
Say.
I can say she works for the bank, Wells Fargo Bank.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
21
tell
years.
people because a lot of people don't like bankers today. You know, it's not like it used to be. Well,
We're okay.
I mean, no, I don't mean you, but I'm talking about banking. You know, it's one of those things where it seems like we have a. Well, tell me a little bit about your job every day, in and out, and then at the bank.
Well,
Is it stressful?
Well, I work with the public
Right.
at a branch,
Mhm.
and I'm a banker, and I just wait on people, all day. It's very busy, very, very busy, and I do the servicing. I open accounts, and I enjoy what I do. I really, really love, working with the public and meeting so many different types of people, and I love it. I'm just a people person, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, Denise has.
Banking has changed a lot over the years. It's a little different than when I started out. 17, I started in banking, as you know, at Southeast Bank, the big one.
I thought you started with me when you worked at the gas station. Isn't that where you learned all about banking? Up there counting those quarters, because we used to sell it for about 52 cents a gallon, I think, and people were complaining. How do you afford to pay for gas, Denise? I mean, how do you?
It's not easy, and I just noticed today it's going up.
It went up 10 cents a gallon this week, and I can't figure out why. 10 cents.
Well,
what is the?
I drove by the station that we always go to on West Bay and Largo, and it's always the cheapest in the county, and it was like, I think it's like $4.59 or something crazy now, and I'm like, is that? I don't know. That's
well,
crazy.
that was the same one that when I first came to Florida.
$3.59.
Yeah, well, it will be $4.59. Don't get ready. That'll go up quick because I remember buying gas in 1971 when I came to college down here in West Bay. That same gas station was a little station. In fact, they even pumped the gas for you. You got to pump it. It was 25 cents a gallon back then. So,
wow.
I had a tough time paying for that. I filled my Nova up. It cost me about $4, $5, but it's crazy. It's crazy for you. You've got three sons, and someday you'll have grandchildren, and like me, and you'll be called grandma, like I'm called grandpa. That's what happens. And then what are our kids? We didn't have this problem when we were kids. We weren't worried like they are.
No.
We
rode our horses.
We rode our horses. We rode our bikes.
Those days.
Well, they want us to ride. They want us to ride buses, and they want to put a high-speed rail in. They want to do this and that, and let's spend more money. I went down 19 today, and it took me. It's worse now than it was 10 years ago. The way they're constructing it. It just takes. But
they want us to take that trolley.
Oh yeah, well last night we walked from the channel side to the trolley. Yeah, what's Brad doing? Is he
He's
there?
right here. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, I wanted him to do a
right.
segment.
Okay, Bill.
Give him,
Just a second.
Yeah. Give me your
hello, Bill.
Give me your perspective of that game last night, Brad.
I thought that was the best hockey game I've ever seen in my life.
And you were taking a lot of pictures.
Never seen that many shootouts, and it was just amazing. I mean, kept getting tied up, and I've never seen anything quite like that. And it was, it got a lot of good pictures too of them when they were doing the shootout.
Yeah, you said you took 7. What do you take? Every picture of the shootout?
Yeah, every shot taken on the shootout, I tried to get a pretty good shot at it.
What made you want to do that? Was that something you've always wanted? Did you run out of film?
No, that's one of the nice things with the new digital cameras. You don't generally run out. You can take them and then throw out the shots that don't come out great.
Yeah, well, it was a great game, and I'm glad we won because that would have been a crummy game if we'd lost. Then and those Islanders, who they're in they're last place in the standings, so they're not a really good team. But sometimes it's the good teams that seem to knock down the best, like the Lightning. They seem to sometimes get beat by the crummy teams.
Right. So. Well, that happens quite often, and it just just the fact that Lightning came back. They were down 2-1, and then in the end of that third quarter, ended up getting the tying point, and then to do it in the shootout, it was really great.
You've got a good voice for broadcasting. Why don't you come in here and bring that wallet with you and help me?
Be a radio announcer or a sportscaster, one of those two.
Well, you can be anything in America. It's only in America you could want to be a sportscaster.
I hear that theme on your show, and I think that's a very true statement.
Let's play that little theme.
A lot of possibilities.
Cedric's had a rough week, Guys like him work hard, but he works long hours. He's got a baby, and and he, the way things are, they just don't seem to realize that this country, how are we going to afford things? There's America. Only in America can you go to a hockey game and watch 13 shootouts. You can't do that. They don't play hockey in Africa, I don't think. And Canadians play hockey, but Brad, you still on there?
I'm still here.
You want to keep talking? I get $10 a minute, so keep talking.
Yeah, I know. I know that would be great.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as the game, though, I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can go again and see if they can continue on their trek there to get the Stanley Cup again.
Where's Andrew? Is he around?
Andrew, I think, is at some function tonight, some youth group.
Oh, good. Next week I want to get maybe him on the show to talk about little golf. He's a golf pro. How old is he? 17?
He's 17, right?
He's hit hole-in-ones, and he wants to be the next Tiger Woods, And you might hear about him someday, but him and Brad went up to the PGA tournament that remember a couple weeks ago. And how was that? How was that tournament up there?
Well, that was fabulous too. I mean, there was a tremendous charge at the end. It just there was a three-way tie going into the 17th hole, and as I remember, there was one player that I think it was Nah that ended up getting a birdie on the 17th, and had just a tremendous long putt, made it, and he was the only one that had a shot to catch the leader.
Yeah.
And I guess on the 18th hole, he was just able to get the par, but it was that was a tremendous event as well.
That's interesting, and it's nice to be when you got a lot of money, you go to things like that, right? How'd you how much were the tickets?
In our case, we were able to get a tremendous deal on it, but I think typically those tickets were probably around $40.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not in America. That's nothing. Okay. Brad, is Tara on the phone? I think I got another call.
I think she is.
She said she was on hold. I'll see you later, Brad and Denise. Yeah. Thanks for calling. Okay.
Good luck with your show.
Okay, thank you.
I thought I heard somebody in the background.
She said she was on hold, but maybe we're having trouble with the phones.
Check.
Phones tonight. And she is on if she doesn't call tonight, she can call next week. Could be the weather, the clouds are out there and
okay, we're good.
She on? Tara?
Hello?
Hi, Tara.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, Dad.
Oh, how are you?
Good.
How are things up in New York?
They're rainy. Muddy.
Rainy snow? No?
The snow is melting away.
Yeah. You're the part of the generation I want to reach in this show, to help. How do you get by during the day? You having a good? Do things seem expensive to you?
Well, yeah, everything's expensive, especially in New York. And when you're my age, you're just starting out. So
what are you, 20?
It's hard.
28, 29, 30? You're not that old. How old are you? Don't give it away. No, 31, right? 31? 30.
Yeah, I'm 31.
And I'm getting old. We get older, we kind of lose our short-term memory, Anyway, Tara's my daughter works in healthcare. In child care up there, and her husband is from Venezuela, and he's an engineer, and he's been in this country, about a year, a couple years, 3 years, 4 years?
He's been here almost 4 years.
Yeah, and he's the one that, we're concerned about Venezuela and all that's happening down there, and it's sad. It's sad that countries can take over like they do, and that America doesn't seem to get involved in it. That we just kind of became so different overnight. Where years ago that people wouldn't do this here in this hemisphere like it's happening. But is Edgar? Has he concerned?
Edgar's concerned. He has family over there, and they're rationing food and medical and child care and all the health needs. So there's definitely a concern of what's going on, and the media, is not allowed to be shown any of it over in America. So they can get in trouble if they send it to us. So that it's a concern there, and they take over everything. So
yeah, it's a shame, but we gotta pray for them and hope that the country does have some change there. Maybe that our country could get involved in helping them down there. Our neighbors to the south, even though they are a communist country right now, they could change, or socialist or whatever they are. They could change back sometime. It happened in Russia, and it could happen. They're not beyond hope, but sometimes it takes people standing up and even people dying, for the cause. That's how our country was founded. Many people, even today, people are still dying to keep freedoms in the world, and sometimes we just don't understand leaders, that are. But in our country, I have a passion for our country, and I believe you do as well, right?
Oh, definitely. And Edgar, coming from Venezuela, he is very proud to be here, and he's becoming a citizen. And I think he knows that America doesn't get involved right away because he's hoping his country will be able to fight back and win it for themselves before we come in to help them. And I think that's their biggest hope, is that they can do it through, themselves. But, America helping them is also a hope. But I know for him, he's proud to be here in America and got his master's here and has, grown. So there's definitely a lot of pride, but I know as he has seen some of his friends die and watching his sister go through what she's going through as becoming a doctor over there, he's hoping to, be part of that pride and watching his country fight against, what they're doing to them that's wrong.
Yeah, I know, and hopefully, he's here, and America. People come into this country, and when they get here, they're the greatest country in the world, and our country has always helped other countries, and that's the you're the generation that's got to lead this country to keep the flame going, to keep the the light lit, and to keep this country as that beacon on the hill that Ronald Reagan said it was back in the 80s. And we've gone through so much, and I'm proud of my country, and I'm proud of you, and I just hope that you and him continue to go forward in your life. And how's that new car running? That new car.
It's running great.
What kind of car? What kind of car is it you bought? What was it?
The 2014 Nissan Rogue.
Wow.
The limited edition.
Only in America, right? You bought it. You and him bought it yourself, and you buy a Japanese car. But is it Japanese or is it American? Probably made in probably made in Tennessee. Right. They but only in America.
Mexico and America.
I don't know if he'd be able to do that in Venezuela, but maybe they can. I don't know what they drive down there because I've never been there. But I know Caracas, they say, is a nice city to visit. But it's Caracas, right?
Caracas is very nice.
Yeah.
It's very, congested and a lot of traffic. But,
yeah.
It's a beautiful country. That's what's sad about it.
Yeah.
Before all of this, years ago, it was a great vacationing for people to get away. So it's sad to see it.
All right. Well,
but on our note, here in America, we work hard, and now we're able to go get a car. So
right. Well, you have a good weekend, and we're kind of winding down now, but I appreciate you calling, and I'll be praying for his sister and his mother, and that the country does come to a calm anyway, and maybe. Maybe his, everybody will be okay. Okay, God bless you, Tara. I love you. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. And
all right. And we have a caller on the line. I don't know if you want to.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of time for calls, but if you want, we can.
Okay. Just give me go ahead.
All right. This is Tony in Clearwater. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, hey there.
Hi, Tony.
What are you up to?
Well, I'm just here winding down. We don't have much time left. What was you got a question or you got a comment or what?
Well, comment, I don't know. How's the medical marijuana thing on your side of the spectrum?
Well, medical marijuana, I don't know. I would say I had a friend I lost years ago to cancer, 28 years old. He was my best friend, actually. I was in his wedding, and he got sick. He got cancer. He was in Sloan Kettering, and when he got to the end, they were giving him marijuana. And I don't know where they were getting it, but as far as I'm concerned, when somebody's sick, I think marijuana's fine. I think it's a calming. I don't think I don't really believe it's another addiction we have to put out there in the system.
Right.
That's my feeling. But medical, I think I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a medical.
Was your friend a drinker?
No. Well, he was Italian, but we drank when we were in high school, but he wasn't.
Right.
He got cancer, bone cancer.
I'm just saying because a lot of people abuse that. And, well, here, can I just do this real fast? Would this sum up the whole thing? You ready?
What?
It's called Bye Bye Whiskey and Rye, medical marijuana, and we're feeling fine. Have no more pain or anxiety. A doctor once a month, he takes care of me, and I go home singing.
You know this guy? You know this guy?
I've heard his calls before.
You went through a lot to do that, but that's great. You must be pro. Wait, are you against liquor and pro marijuana?
It.
Okay. All right. Well, you got your plug, and
Thanks,
I guess it's only in America, Tony. But thanks for calling.
Only in America.
Thanks for calling.
Get calls from Tony.
Tony. Okay. How much time we got left?
We got a couple minutes.
All right. Play another song there. Maybe you can play that. Let's play Beyond the Sea again. Just
okay. Hang on. I gotta get
Darren. Well, if you don't have it, or play one you got tagged up there. Kind of.
Yeah, let's do a little Bobby Darin for the show here.
Yeah, Turkish Jet.
And all right, so why don't you wrap it up? I'm getting this queued up. I'll have it in like 5 seconds.
Okay, we got a Turkish jet shot down in the Syrian warplane near border. We got screams are key in the case against Pistorius. The Egyptian frees the jail dissident leader. We've got a baseball player up in Detroit making $292 million. He just signed a contract, average 3 years. $290 million for 3 years. Approximately $1/3 billion. A lot of overpriced hot dogs and beer. Yeah, that's true. That was a comment from one of my listeners. It's true. It's true. Venezuela accessed by police. Problems. Everywhere in the world, including America. But we can solve our problems. They're out of control over there. We're not. Let's bring that back. Let's bring it back. Let's change things. Vote. Get out there and vote, you youth. Facebook, social, vote. Because one day they'll take that away from you. You won't be able to talk to your friends on Facebook. Because most of them aren't your friends anyway. They're just people you met, bullying each other, hurting each other. messing around with each other. Why? Because they can. Push back, America. Push back and win. We're winners. We're champions. We are the greatest country in the world. And I will take that to any country and share it because we have the answers. I grew it up and I'm a success because I'm an American. You're all successes. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. But God bless America. God bless this country, this great country. Good night and God bless.